Hello.
Hey.
How are you? What's your name?
Mickey Lindberg,
Where are you from, Mickey?
Sarasota, Florida.
And where are you now?
I am at Wild Acres Retreat up in North Carolina, Little Switzerland, North Carolina.
Do you come here very often?
Yes, twice a year.
What do you do up here?
Well, usually when I come, it's a gathering of a huge variety of artists and creative people, and we each work on our craft, and my craft is Ukrainian egg decorating.
Ukrainian egg decorating.
Yes.
Now, how long have you been doing it?
I've been doing it 2 years.
Now, can you tell me what's involved?
Sure. It's basically a wax relief and dyeing process. So it's batiking an egg, and it's an ancient craft that they used to do on the farms because they wanted to have special eggs for putting in the field when they were planting the crops. They would give these eggs at the occasion of a death or a birth or a wedding or any kind of celebration. You were certainly likely to get an egg or a bunch of them.
As a gift?
Yes, as a gift.
For any special occasion?
Yeah. And my friend, when her dad died, she said his coffin was filled with beautiful Ukrainian eggs that were decorated.
Now, can you show me one of the eggs that you have completed? That is a finished egg, I should say.
Sure. I'll look for one that is a traditional Ukrainian pattern. They're very geometric, and as my quilting friends have pointed out to me, they're almost often like quilting squares. So it's fun that when I'm at Wild Acres, I work in the room with the quilters because they inspire me for this.
So this egg this is all done by hand, by you?
It is. Yeah, and it starts out, this is what you start out with, is the original white egg. Well, this is the beginning, an emptied out egg, which I have cleaned and seasoned and taken some wax to fill in the little tiny plug at the bottom so that no dye can enter the egg. Now I have made some pencil lines on this egg to show me where I want to put wax in order to hold the color white in my star pattern. And I'm using a tool that has melted wax in it called a kistka, and this is going to deliver a very, very thin line of wax which will enable me to do multiple dyes through different sequence and retain a little white line around the end product. Once I have completed my star in holding all the white that I want, I'm going to take this egg and I'm going to dye it into a yellow dye. And then at that time, I'm going to fill in some different areas. This dot will be yellow, this will all be yellow, the pussy willows also, and then a little round dot at the ends of the stars will all be yellow. So once that's done, I am going to dye the egg in orange. And you can see exactly the same pattern. Now it's orange, and now it's time for me to save what I want to be orange. So here I have just filled in your stars and of the center, added a little bit of detail here, another circle at the end, and that's what I wanted to do with the orange. Now my orange is going to be my last fairly light color, and my last color is going to be blue. So what I would like to show is that the darkest color will always be the last color. So if you can differentiate, we actually have the white border, the yellow pussy willow, the little feet things. We have the center covered, and now I'd like to show how I take the wax off, which is what we call the reveal. And this is kind of like Christmas because it's always interesting to see the colors come off. Just going to take a candle, and the first thing I will do is release the wax from the end in case there's any gas or any kind of liquids in the egg, because we need to get that out first of all. So I just am going to go lightly against the wax. I can sort of see when it starts to melt, and then I'm going to wipe it on a very soft, old piece of t-shirt. So here comes the egg, contrasted with the background.
Oh my goodness.
After the wax is removed and a couple days have passed, that is the time that I usually would put a coat of urethane, fairly glossy urethane, on the finished product. And usually 2 coats is sufficient to have a really nice contrast, and it strengthens the egg a little bit. And then we can put it on a stand and give it as a gift or just display it. Perhaps you can see the finished product. We started with plain white egg. We went to saving the white with the wax, dyeing into the yellow, saving the pussy willow yellow in the center of the egg, some little circles, dyeing into the orange, saving the orange here. I had added a little dot of green, which we did not show. And then when all that is covered, dyed it into a darker blue, waited a few minutes, and then removed the wax with the flame. And that is a pasenka. These are pasenka that were made with brown eggs. All the eggs I use are organic eggs. And I wanted to show you the difference in the width of the delivery of the wax and the tips. Tips are from very heavy to a very, very fine, and this egg much of it was done with a medium tip and with a little bit of filling in with a broader tip. This one, very much of the work was the very, very fine tip, so of course this one took a lot longer to do. And then the filling in is done with a very broad tip, and it's quite difficult sometimes to get every single spot covered when you're doing a wide band like that. It really shows up at the end if you've missed a spot, but we did pretty well on this one. So let me show you these. This one has a border. Fortunately, for someone wishing to learn this craft, there are a number of terrific books, and you can work step by step through them, doing exactly the process that we did with the white egg, going all the way through. This is kind of a good picture of what we made a series of eggs. So it's very helpful to have a book with the color sequence. It helps you as a new learner not make too many crazy mistakes.
So Mickey, what has egg decorating really meant to you in your life? How would your life be different if you didn't have this hobby?
I think my life would be much less full because it brings a balance to me in a lot of ways. You can make a lot of mistakes on these, and you have to accept a mistake that's made in wax on an egg, which is good. It's allowed me to be a little more less rigid, and it's allowed me to explore color, and I actually love the feel of the egg. I'm quite a detail-oriented person, so it's excellent for me in that it's a sort of a Zen experience much of the time when I'm working on one, or if even holding one is a very pleasurable experience for me. And it's just brought a lovely focus to my life.